Welcome to the SZN Monday Blues Cure podcast, the ins and outs of mentioned female teams. This is episode 4. I'm your host, hello,
And I'm your co-host, Arctic.
and welcome to another I don't know, man. I want to say something nice or something, but fancy.
Welcome to the LO interview.
LO interview, yes sir. LO, OP. Anyway, also like I'm gonna have a little bit of a I'm sorry, a little bit of disclaimer. As you see here, the Arctic is officially back, even though she just quit com after like 2 months of managing.
You know what? I'm just gonna exit.
Um, just like 30 minutes of me bullying her. It's all good. It's good times. Good times.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, as you see here, we have a special guest. Where I say it very differently. Our special guest Echo here. Let's kick it off with an introduction.
Hello, I'm Echo. I'm the COD Mobile Division Manager of Meeseeks Mobile Go. I'm on the board of directors in Trailblazer Network. I've been on SGH staff in the past. I'm on Zenith staff, and I have staffed several other servers before.
All right, perfect. And since you're very going off from your introduction, you're very involved with a lot of tourneys and leagues. I think all of us are. I think all three of us. I think it's just the one who could step on.
Hey yo!
Oh my!
I do not consent.
You do not.
I mean, I don't think there's such thing as consent in esports.
I mean, at the same time, she'd be DMing me that she can't name herself. Anyway, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bully her for 30 minutes. So, like when it comes to modding, there's a lot of rules we have to memorize. Honestly, it gets annoying for me. Especially for like episode 2, I covered that with Batsy. Just like like for any tips of modding, get to know the rules. And I know like Echo is like in charge of those like making those rules, kind of, right, or like determining what rules are going to be played.
I'm not in charge of choosing the actual rules, but I do sometimes get like inside scoops and whatnot to what the rules will be.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, so like I'm gonna start off by asking like how do you feel about the new updated mobile mayhem rules, by the way? So like just Echo, you can start off from there.
So at first, when I first saw the new updates for mobile mayhem rules, I was happy with a lot of the updates, like such as banning the man of war,
Yeah.
and then like the one sniper and S&D shotguns LMGs ban. Those all seem good. No ACOs on snipers. The operators ban was definitely an interesting one. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it. I wasn't sure how the scene would feel about it, but now that it's been a few weeks since that's come out, I honestly think I'm enjoying it. I really like the pure skill base that this is putting the whole game on.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Like the pure skill, like how it reminds me of like CDL, basically. If you look at like their what do you call it, their classes, it's only like gun only, and then it's like with the pistol or knife, and that's basically it. It's just literally pure gun skill. There's no operators, no anything, no trip mines. Literally just pure gun skill, and I really like it. It feels very competitive, and like it really, you're not gonna use your operators to save your life or anything or whatever, right? It really depends on your aim, your gun skill, your movement, blah blah blah. Like it really shows that. Arctic, you wanna go off from that? You wanna add anything?
No, I pretty much agree. Very much agree.
One thing that I was definitely with the rules when they were announced, I was expecting to see way more teams arguing and going crazy about them, especially the operator ban.
Yeah.
And then a couple more perks got added, as I think some people know. I think Shrapnel got added, and then Hardline, and a couple others. And then the couple maps that got added / removed, I think all of those were good, especially adding the firing range to Hardpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
Removing Scrapyard from Hardpoint, I personally kind of like the map, but then again, also there was times when when it was a little bit big. But there actually wasn't too much argument within the community, I felt, over the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I did see like some tweets about it, but basically, it wasn't really like a whole blow up or anything like that. Or not, it's not like teams go, what do you call it? Went to another level and said, "We're not gonna play your tournament because of the rules." No, not really. They really just accepted it and just went off from it, which I really appreciate. and like like especially with the reputation of Mayhem. All right, so we all of us agreed with the new mobile mayhem, but also like another thing that I do also want to consider. So all three of us agreed that the new mobile mayhem have like it's really efficient. I really like it a lot, and you see a lot of teams of attorneys actually using the mobile mayhem rules, but some are a little bit different. I know MSS, we see some Sunday Showdown. They definitely have different rules. You agree with that with me, Echo, right? Just a bit. I know there's like some like a little bit of some changes, right?
No, we don't have much changes. The general difference between rule sets at this point, it isn't the actual rule set. It's the set of rules that is used for DQs or like emotes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen some tournaments that like they don't ban sprays or they will rule suicides and suicide nades as any suicide nade, even if it's an accident.
Yeah.
Um, some tournaments will be phone only or iPad and phone.
Yeah.
Um, but when it comes to the actual like in-game rules, pretty much everything's the same. There's no changes. Only difference you'll rarely see is sometimes with a gun that might be glitched, such as like the Mythic Peach
But
Keeper when it was
it's all
when
good.
it would do the audio bug when you got killed with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So some tournaments will like ban those versions of guns.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's just like one of those little, like, probably just like one or two things. I think almost just has one or two things. I remember like one time it was like, I think it's like, I don't know the recent changes. So I'm talking like, like about before, like the mods will say like, hey, like, like, I know this is normal mayhem, but it's like a little bit different from the actual like updated ones. But every tourney is different. Do you like? But here's like, I want to open the floor to the like to you guys with this question. Do you think that every tourney should exactly have like one efficient what rule set? Like no changes at all. It's not gonna be different each time. It's like exactly one rule set that every tourney is gonna use. Like, do you think we
I
should do that?
think the in-game rule set should be the same for the like DQ rule set and all that. I think obviously that should be like similar across all things, and
Hmm.
some things should just be banned, should always just not be not allowed.
Right.
But every tournament can always have a little bit own different version of that.
Yeah. Of course.
I definitely feel in-game rules to be the same for everything, and this is talking about multiplayer, of course. BR is a bit different. Um, but I think definitely the in-game rules should be the same, at least for any type of 5v5 tournament that's competitive or it's going to be ranked for anything.
Hmm.
Or it's going to have like a decent prize pool. If it's like a 3v3, 2v2, anything like that, yeah, then the rule set can change up.
Yeah. Of course. I agree with that. Like maybe put their little taste. Yet again, it also gets a little bit confusing for mods, to be honest. Arctic, do you want to add on to that? Like, I know, like, being a mod yourself, like, what do you think of it?
Yeah, no, it definitely confuses me because like I just don't even know like where to find all the rules, and then like rules are constantly being updated, especially in Mobile Mayhem. I feel like they update them like every single week, and I just like I don't even know what like the rules are anymore. And each like tournament has their own rules, and I do agree with Echo that like bans and like some guns should be banned, and like just like kind of like external stuff and like emoting bans should be like the same across the board. But it's it's also good to have like different like rules within like perks and operators, but at the same time it gets really confusing, and I feel like there kind of should be like extreme similarities and like maybe a couple like versions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, of course. But yeah, so
For
different
sure.
versions. Yeah.
The gun ban, the gun ban thing, I think definitely helps with that since all team like is the gun ban is each team being able to do one gun ban. That's just something I think is like perfect.
Yeah, of course, of course. To put in your own little, what do you call it, what do you call it, little touch of it, right? Making
Yeah,
it
it adds in
different.
a little bit more of like that. That's the extra competitive aspect.
Yep.
Say
Yeah.
you're playing a team like such as Aphelion. When Aphelion was back around Aphelion EU and they had Jim, he was amazing with the KRM, and any team that would face him, old man would always ban that gun.
Which is actually crazy, which is like,
I
sheesh.
mean, same with Angels. Teams would always ban Arctic 50. They wouldn't even touch the RHMN war. It was the
Oh, that
Arctic
means
50.
I would just laugh every time they do. It's just like once because like when I heard well, I said her name wrong. Whoopsies, kind of a weird. I said a very weird. I said a very weird AR. My bad. But Eric's not either playing sometimes, and they depend Arctic 50 either way because like Chels or Dickie's always sniping either. So like that's when like that was like two snipers were allowed in SND. So like they're just crazy just because of a player and how good they are with a particular gun, and then like players had to ban that because of that. It's just like crazy. Definitely a flex, you can call it.
Yeah.
So um, like speaking of just players being too good, I think we can move on smoothly. Something it's weird. I don't know how I did that transition, but anyway, let's pretend that that was totally okay. I have a big question. I mean, all of us are managers. Me and Echo currently are managers. Arctic is not. She just stays there, like just streams there,
I'm
like
just
being
chilling.
lonely. Um, so I have a question. Like, since we're all players, I think we talked with players before. I think you managed for like for like a few months, right? Like in my
Yeah, I
third,
managed for a good
so
time.
you
Yeah.
still have the experience.
Yeah.
So like I have a question for both of you. Like, how should player versus manager problems be handled? Echo, do you want to go and start that off?
Player versus manager problems is a very complicated topic, especially considering how many different problems there could be.
Yeah, true.
In general, I always think whenever there is any type of problem, um,
the parties that are causing the problem should definitely, like, everyone should just like take a break, pause, and just take a breath,
Right.
relax for a second, you know, chill out.
Just yeah,
Yeah.
just pause, just pause a moment, because like end of the day, this is like this is our life. What we do every day is just our life. We're not gonna let one day or one like this like let that one moment just ruin it. um you know so just take a break. There's time to pause and everything. Yeah, but you're definitely right. Just taking a pause, see what's going on with the situation, how can you fix from that? Because sometimes, if you don't stop and pause, pause and like realize what is actually going on, then like, the situation just escalates and escalates. It's just something you probably don't want. Later. Do you can agree with me with that? Echo.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I would say from my perspective, how manager versus player problems be handled is basically like seeing both sides of the story, right? Because like everyone has their own opinion. Like the manager has their own opinion, player has their own opinion. Just need to find a compromise, see both sides, and don't get all emotional and stuff. Especially with teams that are like all friends, right? I'm not gonna say that much because I do want to save it for for especially like for another special guest. But like don't let your relationship get like so much into it. Just keep it business related. No hard feelings with the situation, right? And just communicate. I think that's one thing I want to like make it really clear with how the situation should be handled. Is basic communication, DMs, like group chats.
I
You know, if the, you want to say something, Echo?
all right. So I definitely agree. Like communication is 100% key. Making sure that as a manager, like even though you might have your own opinion or I might be taking a side, not showing what side you're taking while you're doing that communicating between different players. I definitely think it's something that is kind of key. You don't want to be saying like, "Hey, I'm agreeing with this person 100%, but you tell me your story even though I'm not going to believe it."
Right.
That's not a good way to start off a conversation. You want to make sure you have both sides of the story, and then you can begin slowly being get communication across, and you act as almost a liaison between your players.
Mm.
And then at some point, if both players are okay with it, what personally I'll sometimes do, I had to do this recently, is you'll put both players into like a group chat together with yourself, and then you guys will just talk about your feelings, like, hey, what's up, what happened, why do you feel this way, and you just being getting to the bottom of it. Since of course, like you're a team, you're supposed to all be friends. You don't want to have issues with each other. They're just going to be like deep down inside you boiling.
Yeah, and, like it also affect like the team's gameplay. If one player hits another player, or like you're trying to communicate, the manager try to communicate with your player, it's gonna feel really weird and awkward, and very imbalanced. Arctic, do you want to add anything to that with how manager versus player problems should be handled?
No, yeah, I was just gonna like agree with Echo and saying like especially like me personally when my own girls like sometimes they'll get in like a heated debate or something. I just try and like remove them from the situation because I know that like anything that I say in the moment, like they're so heated and they're so fired. And this also just goes for like other situations that I've dealt with, is that players are just so in the moment they won't listen to you even as a staff member. So
Mhm.
it's so much easier to just get them out of the situation, to just like remove them from the conversation and like just stop the conversation in general. Not to like try and hash it out in a public like chat or to, talk about it in like just singular DMs. It's not kind of just easier to just like remove it. And then as Echo said, like even sometimes just like bringing the players together.
Yeah, of course. Just to remove them from like the tense moment or something like that. Usually, when I actually do this like kind of same thing sometimes, but it depends on the situation. I stated before. I literally say like, if it's a very tense moment, I literally tell the players or something like that. I was like, yo, we're not gonna stay in here in TVC. Go to my office, which is
Yeah.
just just not a like private VC. Literally said like, hey, just go tell us office, drag you, fix a room there. And I just like make sure the other players are not being involved because I don't want to have a full out war. It was just like between me and another player. Talking from experience, I don't want the whole team to be in a full side war. Like because that would just create more drama, more it's become very complicated. There we go. So speaking of like different like situations, like what do you think is the most common like situation with manager versus player? Basically, Echo. Like, is there in the comments ones that like especially when a new manager is like let's say for example a new manager is coming in, what type of situations should they be aware about when they come into the competitive scene?
Well, now I think a manager versus player situation might be a little bit. It happens. It definitely happens. I would say what you're gonna see more is probably a player versus player situation.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to a player versus manager situation, a lot of times it'll just be you talking it out with that player. I've had to do it in the past where you actually go VC with that player, talk with them for like about an hour. A lot of times I've learned in my experience with when it's a player who's not okay with the manager, in reality it's not that they're not okay with like the manager themselves. It's something that's going on within the team the manager's not aware of or going on, or something they feel of that needs to occur, but they have not communicated that across to the manager, which is why um, communication between players and managers is extremely important. So making sure the players and managers are always communicating is a way to prevent that. And if something does arrive between a player and a manager, making sure the manager is talking with that player and the player is talking with that manager privately to figure out what the issue is. Since a lot of times you might realize, hey, wait, this isn't actually like, hey, you think I'm a bad manager. No, you think the team should be going this way and it's not going this way. And like, I feel it's your fault because you haven't done this, even though I think I've tried to express myself before. And yeah, and once you get into that conversation, you can then begin figuring out issues and resolve it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with like just like really expressing your feelings with the manager if like something like with manager versus like player problem because like honestly for players like yourself like let's say like a player is having the issues between the manager or anything and they just hold it in. Next thing you know, if you just hold it in for such a long time, it's going to keep them bothering you every single time. Like say for example, when it was like it wasn't a good day to play, it wasn't a good day on the team, and then like that makes you like feel even more makes you feel more sad and like you want to start giving up and you don't even express it, you know like like some players need to understand that the managers are here to help you, not to go against you. This is not some parent versus child thing, um or teacher versus student. Like really, like even though,
It's almost more like a therapist
yeah, it's almost
type,
like a therapist,
not even a therapist, more of a mentor counselor.
mental cancer, because we're here to make sure that you're fine. That's our job. Like we're not here to bring you down or anything. Like that's that's not what you want. That's not what you want. Like there's no reason for us to bring you down. We want to make sure that the team, everyone on the team, is basically up and running and making sure they're fine or willing to move on with the rest of the players. If that makes any sense. Arctic, you want to add on from that?
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, even just like checking in on players too. Like, sometimes I'll check in on my girls and just kind of like a wellness check, and I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Like, is everything like okay? Like, how are you feeling about the team? And kind of just get their thoughts, you know, like try and like check up, and like as you guys said, like communication, it's like literally what carries managing.
Yeah, of course, of course.
100%. And then another thing with like with like us managers, I don't think players need to realize sometimes.
Mhm.
Like we're here for you, but when we mean we're here for you, like I'd say like the best managers, the managers that like really care about their players, it's not like we're here for you. No, we're not like sometimes it's like we're not caring for ourselves as much as we should be, and because we care for our players so much. And obviously that's not really a good thing for us managers, but that is really how much like we do care about the players sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Like, like teams together with managers players, it's like a family, you know. I said it before, but I mean, our team, we like say that, with our teams, we feel like parents. I
Uh-huh.
feel like I know
We
that Echo
do.
also feels like a parent as well, and that's a good thing. That's really a good thing. I like it when teams like have that close relationship, and it makes teams much better. To be honest, sure, it can be risky, like I said before, with friends in business, of course, it gets a little bit personal sometimes because we're friends. But if you're able to be mature and then, say, like, oh, it's just like just comp, right? Like, we're not going to make it so personal. We're going to get business into business, you know, like, just keep it simple. Then you're fine. I'm fine with friends and business. Just be very careful, especially when those problems come up and you start those arguments. Like, it's something to be really cautious about.
No, yeah, I agree. Like honestly, like going back to the whole like part about like the family, I do consider like Seraph, like the team that I used to manage and that I will be managing soon, my family. Like not only do like when I was managing them, I helped them as a manager and like definitely as personal, like as a personal like person, but like they've helped me too. Like, it goes both ways. It's not just like us helping and us helping. Like I feel like they've helped me in so many ways, and I'm like so thankful for them, and like they're so thankful to me, and it just brings us closer. And it just like, I don't know, it's just something that like I don't honestly know where like my life would be if I wasn't a part of like a team like this.
Yeah, of course. Like, just having that bond, it just makes it much better. And honestly, like, if you like think about it, like when managers and players have those bonding moments, like I'm like that's like so much. Like, you want to agree with me with that? But usually you're just playing rank with them. For example, on the Arctic you do when you stream with them. What, you're not a manager anymore, but um,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
they're still my family. Like I'm with them all the time. I'm in their server. I'm in their VC. Like I'm still admin in that server. I may not be like managing them, but I'm still a part of them and like a part of. Technically, I'm like not technically, but like pretty much I'm still part of their team. Like I'm always in their business. We're always talking about comp. Like
That's also, you
I'm
sound
just
nosy
sharing my
then.
thoughts. No, like literally, it's not. It's the only thing that I quit is releasing a damn schedule. Oh my god, I wasn't supposed to swear. The only thing that I quit the only thing that I quit was releasing a schedule. That's literally it. Was signing up for attorneys, registering them, giving them the information, being a staff in Zarin, and also like just sending out a schedule. But I'm gonna come back to all of that once school ends. Once school ends, I'm back. That's it.
But
But then I have to
have
leave again for school. But like, yeah.
oh my god.
Okay, I'm going to college, bro. So like, I can't exactly stay. But
I know. I'm just saying, just like it's just funny. Anyway,
yeah,
man,
I'm
you
coming
sound
back
so.
just to leave.
You come back just to leave, you
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
Yes, sir. For Zarin, maybe try to help us with modding, and I'm scared, like
Yo,
I go.
MSK.
Hey yo, yo.
That's just oh crap. MSK, that stressed me out, I'm not gonna lie.
How does stress you
Bro,
out?
remember how
Hey,
big
if
the
you think
server
that's
was?
stressful, now
Bro,
think of what our admins do.
the
Oh my god.
server stop. The server was so big when they released one little part of it. It was like room modding, bro, and I had to scroll like 9 pages down. I'm like, what is
Here,
this?
to
I'm
give
just
people an
trying to room
example,
mod.
of how big the MSK server is.
We're doing a whole big promotion. It's just so funny.
Bro, how does your server not lag? Like
Or
literally,
to give
it's
you an example,
so
we have
long.
208 channels and 56 voice channels.
That's such a flex.
Okay, 200
Tragic has
and
more. Tragic has more, to my
I
understanding.
Tragic has more, to be honest. Yeah, I think
why?
Tragic,
so.
to my understanding, has actually hit the maximum amount of channels, which is 500.
Can they just like make another server? Oh my god, I'm so smart.
We actually do have we have several servers. We have a PUBG comp server. We have a Wild Rift
The one
type
that has
server. We have a
100
leadership
members.
server. We have a competitive COD Mobile server.
Oh, invite me to the competitive club mobile, please.
Oh my god.
No, it's a private one.
It's a private one.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
God dang.
You're not
Oh, wait.
special, Arctic.
Okay, I can swear.
All right. But back to the point.
Back to because
Um,
I'm sorry. Just gotta get some people in. Gotta get those mods so we don't freak out Echo.
hello, yes, okay, you're awesome.
Oh my god, you're about to start crying. Oh my god.
About to start crying. Okay.
No, sorry. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, like, basically that's it. Like, because at the end of the day, with manager versus player, just to wrap this all up, they're still human. Both of you are still human, and people have feelings too. Like, for players out there, managers are not robots. Okay, we're not robots. We're not gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'll give you anything that you want. No, if we don't feel very uncomfortable with something, we're not gonna do that right away.
For sure, and I'll give an example. Hello, I don't know if you want to cut this out or not. What I'm about to say, but like for example, I've had people like such as Hello come in like my DMs, and like I've done the same to Hello, like this like completely like dead inside and like stressed after like something happens within a team, and like we never show that side to our players that much. Like we try not to,
Mm-hmm.
since like at least in my opinion, like a lot of these us as managers will try to act like really tough to our players, like, hey yo guys, you can throw as much shade at us as you want, but we're fine, we'll take it. And but in reality, like, no, we are still people, and we do go and cry to each other all the time, except that no one sees it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like literally, like if something really stresses me out, or so, like Echo, for example, when he's just we just literally just have those topics, and and also me and Echo are very good friends. And since we're both managers, we're able to relate a lot more with our situations. We're able to help each other and stuff like that. Archie, want to add anything to that? With like,
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Me personally, I go to Beth. And I know Beth isn't like a manager, but she is the CEO, she's the director of Zarin. And she like understands like my issues that I have like as in regards to like managing. And like I can talk to my team about it, but and they can understand to some extent, but to others they just don't understand the concept, and they just don't understand how like we feel as managers and how like things kind of like work beyond just asking for scrims and like, you know. And like there is another manager on our team, her name is Car, and she shares some of the same like issues with me, but she's also a player, so it's almost like she sometimes, without even realizing it, she thinks as a player and she doesn't understand like what I'm saying, so it's kind of hard to get my point across. I'm not saying that I like not understanding people, but like it's just kind of that thing where like in order to like vent to someone or like have an issue about something, you kind of have to go to someone who like can share like directly. And I feel like for me, like Beth, like she really understands like a lot of the issues and like a lot of the issues that like me and my team may have, you know. And like it's kind of just comforting to like have people in the community that's like friends with you, you know.
yeah, exactly. Like that's one thing. Like also trying to communicate. Like for example, I've been like really talking to the teams and also talking to the managers. We also like like speaking of managers, manager turning, haha. Anyway, I don't know why I said that. Anyway,
Bruh.
I really don't know. I was trying to do some like, little thing, but I couldn't. I just, but yeah, like like we're not gonna just keep our feelings in. Like, of course, if there's like, we're not gonna just like I said before, we're not robots. We're not gonna keep it in. We need to communicate with someone, and especially with like you know the stress of managing a team and everything. I also agree with um like the players might not understand my perspective because they never go through experience. I feel like the people that we talk to experience like these situations before. Like I know me and Echo experienced it, and I think Beth and Arctic experienced these type of problems. So maybe like that's why it's like it feels much easier, to be honest. If y'all can agree with me with that.
Yeah, no, 100% agree.
Since that's episode 4, if you're listening to this, please check out our Discord server at Zaren's Women's Network and Zaren Cup Mobile, and also our Instagram at Zaren Network for our posts regarding to any of our attorneys. Speaking of our events, the current attorneys while we're recording this are now Zaren Invicta, Zaren Sunrise. I'm really hoping I got that right. Zaren Sunrise, which is the South American league, Zaren EU Destiny League, and Zaren Uprising actually finished. Congratulations to X Randy for first place, and Carnage girls for second place. I really hope I got that right, but I think that sounds
Yes.
right. So yeah, thank you. So thank you all for listening in, and this concludes episode 4 of the SCN Monday
Bye,
Blues Beer
guys.
podcast.
Bye.
Bye.